So then, Vallelunga in Italy is your host for the third weekend of the NASCAR Wheel and Euro Series. Round 5 of the season taking place on the Saturday of the American Festival of Rome. The event bringing classic cars and Americana to the EuroNASCAR paddock as always. And I'm sure plenty of exciting racing to come this weekend after some of the action we've had in the 2022 season thus far. At Valencia, our first pole sitter of the year was the man in yellow. That was, of course, Nicola Rocca taking the start from the head of the order. Much further back in the pack, at least off the line, was the number 24 car, Alan Day, having to pick his way up through the pack after a poor qualifying session. No one could stop the 56 car, no one could stop Nicola Rocca in the first round of the season. Gianmarco Ercoli in the lead at the first corner for race number 2 of the season. Alan Day much further up the order, rather more where we'd expect him to be, but he couldn't quite beat that distinctive pink number 54 of Gianmarco Ercoli in race 2 at Valencia. Therefore, heading to the UK and heading to Brands Hatch, Alan Day still didn't have a win on the board, but he made short work of Gianmarco Ercoli and then went hunting for Nicola Rocca. Rocca looking for his second win of the season, of course, but it wasn't to be because Alan Day made a great move heading up towards Druids Bend, up the inside, into the lead, and Alan Day would take the win, equaling the record for the most victories at the Brands Hatch Indy circuit. And he would be looking to do the same again in race 2 at Brands. Round 4 of the season, he was having a great scrap once again with Gianmarco Ercoli. Coming out of Druids Bend, though, the two would collide. The cars would get locked together on the downhill towards Graham Hill Bend. And once the cars were separated once again, it seemed as though Gianmarco Ercoli's Cal Racing machine was worse for wear. He'd slide down the field and quite literally slide through all of the corners. He'd end up retiring from the race. Alan Day would receive a drive-through penalty, and that opened the door to a race win for Alexander Graf and the Speedhouse outfit. So all to play for in the championship. 5 cars within 21 points coming into Vallelunga. So 2 races, as always, across the weekend for EuroNASCAR Pro. Nicola Rocca leading the points in the top division of NASCAR's European Sanctioned Series. And fans in attendance for the American Festival of Rome to get an up-close and personal look at the cars and the drivers of EuroNASCAR. A 2.5-mile circuit, lots of challenges to be found across this 14-turn layout. And a nice sunny 28 degrees Celsius. You can guarantee that it will be a lot higher temperatures within the cars themselves. It was this man on pole position, though. The 54 car, Gianmarco Ercoli heading the order.
So I'm very happy because it's my first pole position in the qualifying, because I am always I have good speed in the race 1 for starting pole position in race 2, but in qualifying is my first time. I'm very happy. I work very hard for this result, and after I am in my home track, so here is impossible leave points.
So Ercoli determined, as is Alan Day alongside him. The fans flocking to meet the drivers and get up close and personal with the EuroNASCAR machines. And I'm sure they'll be in for a great race. You see there Liam Hazemans, he's replacing Tobias Downhauer again in the number 50 Hendricks Motorsport car. The young man improving with each meeting. Let's see what he can do this time around. Ercoli and Alan Day then on the front row of the grid. Giorgio Maggi and Vittorio Corelli behind them. Nice strong grid, 30 cars set to take the start. Alan Day will be looking to try and get the launch on the bright coloured Ercoli. We're underway and racing in Vallelunga, and it looks like a good start for Day, but not quite enough to draw alongside the 54 car. Gianmarco Ercoli into the lead then in the 54. The Pink Peril, the number 54 Cal Racing machine, once again at the head of a pack and side by side for third place. Looks looks like maybe just about holding on around the outside there, despite Giorgio Maggi's best efforts. That does look to be Vittorio Garelli up into third place. So good going from Garelli there, although pressure from the entire pack as they run through those first few corners. But off has gone Roman Iannetta. Iannetta with a moment. Alia Kolek, you're right on board with her. It's coming into the very tight final section of this circuit. Turn 10 awaits. Now Kolek, hours out of 10. With the inside at turn 11. Oh, but into the back there of, I believe that's the number 1 car, Thomas Chrysonis. Yes, it is. Chrysonis and Kolek having a moment there, and that has inevitably brought out the safety car in the early stages of the first race of the weekend at Vallelunga. They roll up to the start line again, and they have to do it all again, especially if you're Gianmarco Ercole. That really is a kick in the teeth, and he's side by side with Alan Day once more, and I think Day's got a little bit closer, but again, Ercole just about holds on to it for the time being. In third place there, I believe that's Alexander Graf. Alexander Graf up to P3. Giorgio Maggi there, trying to find a way around the outside, but he remains in fourth place. The field filtering through. Ercole and Day, though, scrapping for our race lead. And it is the 54 car at the head of the order, but look how late Alan Day is on the brakes. Sensational stuff there. Surely he's not going to find the grip to hold on around the outside, though. Well, he's just about managed to. Runs onto the curbing, and now he's got the inside of the corner that follows. Is he through? I think he's done it. Yes, he has. And Alexander Graf now on the offensive as well in that number 64 car. It is now Alan Day in the lead. Ercole in second place. Alexander Graf just behind the two of them. They tip through turn 10 again. Alan Day would be delighted to net more points here in race 2. Or rather, to win race number 2 of his season. Certainly he needs to get victories on the board and further a points lead. Ercole, though, hanging on tight at the moment, and Maggi's got through into third place as well. They run across the start-finish line. And it is Alan Day that heads them for now, looking back to Martin Dubeck. He's in battle with Patrick Lemarie. Lemarie not quite able to match him right now. Mark Goossens having a scrap with Nicolo Rocca. Rocca a little further down the order than he'd like to be right now, down in 9th place. And Mark Goossens, the experienced veteran, is making life difficult for him. He says if you want the position, you need to go around the outside, and Nicolo Rocca trying to avoid doing so. We saw Alan Day convert the outside into the inside for the following corner at this point a few laps ago, but it's so much easier said than done, and Nicolo Rocca tried to dive up the inside there, but it wasn't quite going to happen from that far back. Ercole in the 54 car. Shift there, up the gears as they run through turns 1 and 2. Oh, Ercole there, as he picked up some damage. I think there was some debris. And yes, Ercole has huge damage. And look at that tyre, it's gone. Another safety car. And Alan Day's primary rival in this race has fallen by the wayside. Giorgio Maggi is now going to start on this front row of the 2x2 start along with him. We're on lap 14 of 18. And Alan Day is going to have to stave off the advances of the speedy Swiss, Giorgio Maggi. Maggi trying to find a way by through turn 2. We've got Martin Dubeck up as high as third place now, along with Vittorio Garelli there in fourth. Garelli all the way around the outside there to take P3, and they're all scrapping for track space further back in the pack. Off track there's a big moment towards the back of the order. I think Mark Goossens was in the gravel there among others. And gone is Frederic Gabillon. number 3 car having a moment. But it looks as though we may have gotten away without a safety car there. Alan Day in the 24, cycles around the final corner. Puts the power down. Look at the gap he's built over Giorgio Maggi. It's enough to claim the checkered flag and the win in this round 5 of the season. Gorelli claims third ahead of Dubek, and Alexander Graf, who rounds out the top 5. Gabillon and Goossens and a few others involved with that crash not getting into the top 20. Alan Day fairly subdued there, I say.
First of all, I want to say that doesn't matter what happened in Brands Hatch between me and Cal Racing Team and Ercole. I don't think he deserved to finish the race like that. I don't know what happened to him. I think he got a puncture, but it could be a fair, good fight, and I feel sorry for them. That's first of all. Again, I don't want to win like that. But again, the car, PK Car Sport did an amazing job. Yeah, I'm just happy, you know. I managed to overtake Ercole at the start, and from there trying to keep the pole position and keep a good pace, and yeah, thinking about tomorrow now.
There you go, a sporting competitor is Alan Day. He doesn't want to win races in that manner. Maggi taking the junior trophy classification then, and the Masters falling to the number 23 car of Henri Tuamala. We'll be back tomorrow with more racing, round 6 and the Sunday race. Could be very exciting indeed.